Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I think we are just about ready to begin. Great. So first of all, I'm Nicole Canula. I am part of the marketing team, and I reside over in North America and oversee marketing in our region. This is a global webinar, so welcome everyone again. Just a few housekeeping tasks. Although your audio is muted, you can ask questions at any time in the chat just using the Q&A tab on the Zoom menu. Yael will help get to them at the end of the conversation, or perhaps I can answer some as we go along. The webinar is recorded and it will be emailed to everyone following the recording today. So keep an eye out for that in case you missed any highlights, or you could share it with your colleagues as well. And if you have any issues with Zoom, just go ahead and send us a message in the chat as well. All right, so a quick introduction to Kella if you're not familiar with us, and this is your first webinar. We are an intelligence-driven external threat exposure management company. So at the core, we monitor cybercrime underground in the deepest and darkest corners of the web, Telegram channels, forums, and other sources. And we combine that with external attack surface management, third-party risk management, and Gen AI security to provide our customers with a full view of their risk exposure to threats. And that helps result in prioritized and actionable insights that are integrated into your day-to-day workflow. So with that, we'll get right into it. And I'd like to introduce our speaker today, Yael Kishon. She is our AI product and research lead. So welcome, Yael. I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you, Nicole. Hello, everyone. Today, we are going to talk about AI agents and how AI agents are going to transform the security operations. We are going to cover today a few topics. So we will start with how a day of a SOC analyst looks like. Then we will talk about the challenges and the pain points impacting the security operations. And then we will talk about the solutions, how Agentic AI can solve the various problems that security analysts handle nowadays. And in the second part, I will introduce Alex, our AI digital cyber analyst, and I will showcase how analysts can enhance and improve security operations. And in the end, we will do a quick demonstration of Alex. You will be able to get a sense of how Alex can change your security operations. So let's start with a prediction of Gartner. They predict that by 2028, at least 15% of the day-to-day work decisions will be made autonomously through Agentic AI. And what does it mean? It means that most of the time-consuming and repetitive tasks are going to be made by AI agents. So organizations need to start about these changes and to understand how it's going to be implemented in the organization. And today we are going to talk about the security operations, but of course it can be implemented in any vertical. So let's start with this picture. We can see an analyst. An analyst should be a multitasking person that should navigate through different dashboards. He should be familiar with different security tools in order to get an alert and try to understand if it's a real threat or a false positive. He should piece a lot of incident together and trying to search for context. And by the end of the day, it can be very exhausting. So this is the normal typical workflow that analysts will handle on a daily basis. So usually it starts from the threat detection. As we said, analysts use different types of security tools in order to get the alerts. Once he gets the alert, he needs to figure out if it's a real threat or a false positive. During the triage, he will try to collect the data and try to understand if it's suspicious or not. Then, if it is, he will start the investigation. And of course, if it's a real incident, the incident response team will handle it. And in the end of the day, he will conduct report, document all the different steps in order to understand what happened today. So imagine that the same analyst can interact with Kela, a digital cyber analyst, Alex. Here you can see a screenshot from a Slack channel that I started the interaction with Alex. Alex is trained on Kela Data Lake, all the cybercrime sources that we monitor along the years. And I started and I asked Alex, what are the daily threats today? And Alex provided me a very detailed response. So the same analyst can get all the top vulnerabilities, the popular malware, top ransomware guns in an immediate response just by asking it in a human language. Then the analyst can continue and be more focused on his region and sector or the topics that he's interested to know. So we can ask Alex, what are the latest ransomware attacks targeting Italy? And he will get a very specific response about all the ransomware attacks against Italy in the past months or weeks. It depends on the query, of course. And then Alex not only generate response based on the query, she can also conduct credential validation. She can validate if compromised accounts of your corporate organization that have been compromised are still valid. So in this screenshot, you can see this process. Of course, the sensitive information is redacted. So you can see that Alex can log into the specific service with the credentials that have been compromised and check if these credentials are still valid or not and verify it. And this is super important because we want to know if cyber criminals can further utilize it or we need to change our password policy and so on. So this was just a glimpse for what Alex can do. Of course, we will do a more in-depth demonstration later on. So now I would like to introduce Alex, our digital cyber analyst. Alex is trained on Kela Data Lake, so she's focused on the cybercrime ecosystem across various sources from different types of sources. She's always available 24/7. You don't need to wait for her to come to the shift. You can just communicate with Alex on Slack or Teams, on WhatsApp, or any other communication tool that you prefer. She's always there. She's very proactive. It means that she can conduct and take tasks based on your request. She can generate reports. She can generate presentation. She can help you with internal procedure in your team, and she can do many other things. She can be fully integrated with your security tools, as we have seen a few slides that analysts should handle a lot of, they use a lot of different security tools. So Alex can be integrated with your SIEM or EDR or XDR or any other tools. Alex has its own memory. It means that she can remember the previous interaction and provide you very personalized responses. Now I want to go back to the terminology. In order to understand Alex's capabilities, it's important to understand how AI agents actually work. So AI agent is an autonomous software that's designed to perceive the environment, to process information, and take actions to achieve specific goals. So the main component here is autonomous. It means that the agent can take tasks and decide how to fulfill them. You can see that the brain is a very important part. So the brain is built on large language models, like you can see in the screenshot. It can be ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, or any other model that you know. The agent has access to different tools. So if we are talking about a flight ticket agent that can book your flight ticket. It means that he will have access to a booking website. He can send you email about the specific offers, and in the end, he can book the flight and send you the invitation to your email. So in this case, you can see different screenshots of different types of tools. The agent always plan and manage the task based on the action and the perception, and in the end he will learn from the activity and he provide a specific response. So there are even more complex agents, a multi-agent system, which is consists with a super agent that manage all the sub-agents and they can collaborate with each other. So the super agent here can be a senior cyber analyst that manage all his sub-agents. So you can see here APTs, dark web monitoring, identities, phishing, threat actors, IOCs, and of course, much more. And the super agent is actually orchestrate the tasks, and he can decide which agent should operate first and how they can collaborate with each other to actually prevent a cyber threat or a specific request. Now, after we talked about the benefits of agents, let's try to map all the challenges that the security operations actually face. So first of all, there is a huge shortage of a cybersecurity professional of almost 3 million cybersecurity analysts. And the Asia Pacific region is the largest, has the largest deficit with almost 60% of its workforce. And according to the World Economic Forum, only 15% of the organizations actually believe that they have the right people and the right skilled people to respond to cyber incidents. And this is very alarming because it means that most of the organizations actually don't think that they will be able to handle the cyber attack or any other threat that will come. The second challenge is the data and the tools overload. As we know, the analysts need to handle a massive amount of data and tickets, and also they usually use a lot of different tools. And according to reports, 36% of MSSPs use more than 10 cybersecurity tools. It means that analysts should be very familiar and know how to use different tools of different vendors. And therefore, it's not a surprise that 62% of cybersecurity leaders actually reported that they experienced burnout. So far we talked about the soft perspective. Now let's move to the cybercriminal perspective, which is also super important. So over the past year, we have seen more than 5,000 ransomware victims based on Kela data lake. And we can see that this number increases between the years. And as of now, like July 25, we tracked already almost 4,000 ransomware victims. So we can assume that this number will be much higher by the end of the year. And this also means that organizations have a lot of challenges to keep up with the number of cyber threats. The second point, which is very relevant in the past 2.5 years, that threat actors started to utilize AI for launching successful attacks. And they are trying to enhance their operations with AI. And this means that organizations also need to keep up and try to implement AI mechanism in order to protect their organization. So we have seen an increase of 50% in the mentions of jailbreaks across cybercrime communities. And we also observed an increase of 200% of the usage of dark AI tools by threat actors. I would like to show you a few examples. As you can see here, there is a rising demand and supply of jailbreaks. So threat actors constantly share their jailbreaks in order to bypass and manipulate AI systems. And also cyber criminals are looking for new jailbreaks in order to be able to bypass and to produce malicious content or harmful content, as we've seen in the incident of the Grok chatbot a few days ago. The second point here is that threat actors constantly develop dark AI tools in order to enhance and improve their operations. And those dark AI tools actually support each stage of the attack lifecycle, from the reconnaissance to delivery, and in the end to the last stage to launch successful cyber attack. So how actually AI agents can enhance security operations? So first of all, AI agents can act as a cybersecurity analyst, as we could see in the previous examples, and they can automate repetitive tasks. They can connect the dots faster, which means to conduct in-depth reports. They can reduce complexity and workload instead of navigating through a lot of dashboard and security tools. And they can support the team with deliverables and reporting. But the question is, does it truly happen so quickly and so easily? And actually, the answer is no, because it always depends on the data. And in order to get a very accurate and relevant responses, we need a very specific data that's related to cybersecurity landscape. And the second point is that we know that large language models tend to hallucinate, and this can cause a lot of problems in order to in the development process of AI agents. So Kela actually bridges this gap, because Kela has a unique data lake and a comprehensive and exclusive data lake that consists of various sources that we have tracked in the past 15 years. So this is one part. And the second part is that our expertise in cybercrime actually allows us to verify and validate the responses. So our research team is an integral part of testing our AI agents, and they know what to expect. They know what type of threats that are out there and what types of threat actors are operating, and therefore they are always trying to verify and validate the responses. And with these two powerful components, we created Alex, Kela cyber digital analyst that acts as a teammate to empower security teams and can help you to be more focused, more accurate, and quickly mitigate cyber threats. So now I want to show you the full capabilities and features of Alex. So first of all, as I said, Alex is trained on Kela data lake, and you can communicate with Alex with different communication tools. It means that if you are on your train to work, you can just type and text Alex on WhatsApp or on Teams or Slack, and to ask her questions. And you can start your day with asking these questions and be prepared for your working day. So it's very easy. You don't need to log into a platform or to search for a specific feed. You will just text Alex and you will get a response. Then Alex can be integrated with your security tools, SIEM, firewall, EDR, and so on. And it means that the same IP that pops up in your SIEM, Alex will be able to give you more context and to analyze it very quickly. So you will be able to understand if it's malicious or not. Alex can also integrate to your identity provider and manage your credentials and identities and conduct credentials validation, as we have seen before. And in the end, Alex provides recommendations and mitigation steps order to help you to handle the incident. And you can see that Alex has access to different types of models. Kela is a modular platform. So you can see here just examples of the models that Alex can access and analyze the information very quickly across these different types of models, from leaked credentials, hacking discussions, phishing, technical intelligence, and threat actor profiles. So again, Alex can do many tasks and can take many requests. She can conduct threat actor profiling. She can help with prioritization of incidents. She can conduct reporting and RFI. She can do credential validation and dark web monitoring of your assets and patterns. And also, she can create strategic intelligence report for the high management or even internally to conduct training programs or to improve other procedures in the organization. So now I want to show you a real-world example of threat hunting investigation. So threat hunting, of course, it's require more in-depth understanding in the cybercrime ecosystem. We are not talking about tier 1 or tier 2. And once the analyst will get an alert, he needs to collect all the data from different threat intel feeds platform. He should process the data and analyze the relevant indicator to map the tactics, techniques, and procedure and to correlate it to the MITRE attack. And in the end, you should prepare a report about the actor or about the incident. And in the end, you will share it with the relevant stakeholders. So now, this is a real example of one of the incidents. So here you can see alert based on a post from a cybercrime forum. You can see here incident of Indian bank data leak. This actor named Who Am I posted this post, and he actually offered to sell these database dumps that related to Indian bank loan customers, including 1.9 million records of customers, including their first name, date of birth, mobile, bank account, and email. So this was a post. So imagine now analysts should take care of this incident, and he has only this information that you can see here. So the next step will be to search more information about this specific actor. So for example, on Kela platform, you can search the Who Am I threat actor, and you will get 5,000 results, as you can see here, from 44 different cybercrime communities. So this is a lot of work. Now the analyst should try to figure out what to do next. So of course, he needs to narrow it down and to understand what types of posts or what type of sources actually related to the original threat actor that posted the leak about the India banks. And the third phase, he actually narrowed it down. We can see here only 64 results from one forum, the Cracking Mafia forum, that the original post was posted. We can see here some of his activities based on the title. So probably he is a database seller. And with this information, now the analyst should start to formulate the report, or at least to understand the background of the actor, its activities, to see what his main motivations, his credibility and reputation on the forums. It's very important to understand if the actor is an experienced actor, that he really sells original databases, or it's just circulate databases, or maybe he offers fake information, to find his contact details, and in the end to understand his TTPs and to correlate them to MITRE attack. And then he will continue with the analysis part So here you can see the profile picture of Who Am I from the Cracking Mafia forum. And we can see that this actor, Who Am I, is actually related to other actors with the same profile picture and with the same moniker, Who Am I, on other forums. This actor also has been operating under other handles like Inside Dark with this specific profile picture, and he also has different handles like Destroyer with a similar picture of a cat. So now the analyst should connect all the dots and try to understand how this actor is operating, to understand his activities across different forums and communities. And in the end, he will produce this report of 15 pages about the actor, including the background, the credibility, the author's investigation, the contact details, and so on. Of course, this process takes time and resources, of course. It's not a process of 1 hour or so. It can take 5 hours or 5 days. It really depends on the scope of the investigation. And the analyst should be very experienced and trained and has in-depth knowledge in the cybercrime ecosystem and maybe even intelligence background in order to produce this report. And in the end, he will send his finding to the relevant stakeholders in order to improve the detection and to understand more about this specific actor. So now I want to move to the Alex demonstration. And I will show you how Alex can help you during this investigation. So I recorded this demo yesterday just in order to save time. So here you can see my Slack channel called Alex Demo. I'm the only one in this channel interacting with Alex right now. And I started my investigation with very simple question. So I asked Alex, tell me more details about the post from Cracking Mafia forum about India bank loans from April 24, as we've seen earlier, the original post of the actor from the cybercrime forum. Alex is telling me that she's on it, so she's available to take care on this task, and she's analyzing the data. And I got this response in a second. So you can see here a summary of the post and with more details about the incident. So we can see that this is a sale of customer data from Indian bank. We can see the name of the actor, Who Am I, and a summary of the post that personal information of 1.9 million loan customers from various Indian banks. So we can see all the information very easily and also the name of the banks. In this case, it was very specific post, and we all understood that there is a data leak regarding the Indian bank. But imagine that this post could be in Russian or in any other language, Chinese, or with cybercrime slang. So sometimes it's very difficult to understand the cybercrime chatter. And in this case, I just want to get an understanding regarding the post. And then I continued with my investigation. So now I asked Alex to analyze the discussion of Who Am I, because I want to understand his motivation, his targeted countries and targeted sector. And I got very easily the response. And I see that I get an overview about the actor. I can see all the targeted countries and the relevant databases that this actor actually offered. We can see that the targeted countries are India, China, Indonesia. And now I really get an understanding about this specific actor. Then I continued and I asked Alex another question. So what are the contact details of Who Am I? So now I want to really know his contact details in order to be able maybe to reveal his identity and to try to understand more context about the actor. And now I can see his Telegram account and his Jabber account. And this gives me more options to understand if he's operating under other handles and to try to trace his activities. And now I ask the question, what are the handles of who am I? And I got all the different 7 monikers that he's operating under different forums. So we can see here the names, who am I, Dennis, Destroyer with different spelling, Foxylon, and all the names of the cybercrime communities that he's been operating. And this means that this actor is really active on different platforms, also Russian-speaking communities and English one, and we can try to understand, we understand that he's very active on different cybercrime communities. After asking this question, I decided to ask about his reputation because I want to understand if he's a real threat and he can really affect my organization, or maybe he just sells fake information or part information. So we can see here, I asked about Dennis, the first handle that we got, and I can see that one of the actors actually claimed that this is a scammer, and we can get a feeling about his reputation across the forums. Then I ask Alex, of course, we can continue with more questions, but for this demo, I asked Alex to generate a threat actor profile about who am I. And I got a full overview about who am I, as you can see here. And this is a short version of a report because it was a short version of all the requests, but Alex can also create this PDF file and deliver more comprehensive report regarding the threat actor. Sorry. So I hope you got an understanding of how Alex can really accelerate your security team and help you to save time and save resources and actually minimize your cost with super cyber analysts that can help your team to do their daily tasks. So I invite you to scan the QR code and to try Alex by yourself. And I'm here to answer any questions about Alex or about the AI agents in general.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Yael. That was great. Super informative. We did get a few questions in the chat, so I will jump into those. If anyone else has any, go ahead and put them in the Q&A right now, and we can get to those afterwards. So first up, you touched on this a little bit with the reports, but besides generating responses, what else can Alex do?
Yeah, so in this demo, I showed mainly the answer regarding the threat actor profiling, but Alex can also generate reports, as I said, and PowerPoint presentations and CSV file, and she can also generate responses in different types of formats, for example, IOCs in a sticks format, and she can also take actions, do credential validation. So it means that Alex can really log into compromised services and to verify and validate the credentials. And she can also reset the password in case you enabling the access to different types of tools. So she can do many different tasks. And of course, we are working on expanding Alex's capabilities.
Great. Yeah. I love it. That goes a little bit into the next one. But before I go to the next question, do you mind going back a slide? Someone requested to get the QR code again.
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. We have seen that you have asked Alex specific questions during the demo. Should the queries to Alex be in a specific format or phrasing?
Yeah, so I wanted to show a very specific demo about threat actor profiling, but in general, you can ask Alex any questions in any language, in any and use any phrasing. Of course, like any other models, as better the prompt, the answer will be much more accurate. But in general, you can ask any questions. It can be very broad and general. And Alex can even offer follow-up questions in order to make your responses more focused and to give you more options about the threats that are out there.
Great. Okay. And this is a good one. I don't think you touched on this. How do you prevent hallucinations by Alex?
Yeah, so this is the question that everybody asks. So hallucination. So first of all, it's important to understand that Alex is trained only on Kela data lake. So it means that the scope of Alex is focused on the cybercrime ecosystem only. And we know that we are working on our sources, and we validate and verify the sources. So the content that Alex is trained on is very cybercrime oriented. This is one part. The second part is that, as I said, we have in-depth knowledge in the cybercrime ecosystem, and our research team is working together with the R&D team in order to validate and verify the responses of Alex. So the testing phase is very important, and we know what to expect from Alex. We are familiar with all the different threats and all the different types of cybercrime chatters. So once Alex generates a response, our research team actually knows how to react and if it's a good one or not. And actually, third, we have our internal tool, AI Fort, which is an automated red teaming application in order to test AI systems. So we have our tool to test and check Alex all the time in order to be sure that we provide the most accurate and the most reliable information.
Great. Okay. That is great to hear. Okay, I think that is actually it for our Q&A. Of course, if anyone has any questions after the fact, they can always reach out to the team at Kela. The QR code is there to learn more about Alex, but again, you can reach out to anyone on the team. We'd be happy to provide more information. The recording will be available afterwards. We'll send that out to everyone. And Yael, thank you so much for your time and everyone for joining us today. This was a super exciting one, so we appreciate it. All right. Have a good afternoon and evening to everyone.